Hey guys, it's Chris here from Kecleon. Now, if I was to tell you that there's a basic single prize Pokemon out there with the potential to one-hit KO any of the biggest VMAX or Tag Team GX Pokemon dominating the format today, would you believe me that their name is Kecleon? Alright guys, let's have a quick tour of the deck, starting with the main guy, the main attacker, Kecleon, hanging upside down from a tree, having the time of his life. This is a Rapid Strike Pokemon, but we're going to ignore that because we're not really using a Rapid Strike engine for this deck. The main thing to pay attention to is its ability, Chromashift. This Pokemon is the same type as any basic energy attached to it, and if it has two or more different types of basic energy, then it's each of those types. So the main idea behind this deck is that we're going to be looking to hit any of our opponents for weakness, regardless of what they're playing. It means we're playing a multitude of energy, as you can see. If we're coming up against Rapid Strike Urshifu decks, we can hit for Psychic weakness by attaching the Psychic energy. If we're coming up against the likes of Eternatus VMAX, we can use this Fighting energy, turn ourselves into a Fighting type and hit them for weakness, and so on and so forth. So even the latest Shadow Rider you can hit for Dark weakness, or the Ice Rider even you can hit for Metal weakness. Generally speaking, we're going to play most of these different energy types to hit whoever we're playing against for weakness. Now you might look at the attack and think, oh, it only does 90 damage, meaning we're only really max going to be doing 180 damage. That in itself isn't too bad because we are heading towards like a more of a two-shot meta anyway. 180 damage, I wouldn't turn my nose up at that, especially coming from a basic Pokemon. However, we can go better than that. What's better than 180? Well, I'd say 360 is better than that. And we can do that actually with the Lake Trio, with Azelf and Mesprit and Uxie. You can see Uxie has the ability, Secret Territory. If you have all three of these Lake Trio in play, you can apply weakness for each Pokemon as ×4 instead. So instead of dealing 180 damage with the spinning attack, you will be dealing 360 damage, which I'm sure you're aware is more than enough to take out even the biggest Pokemon VMAX in the format at the moment. So that is incredible. It is a bit fiddly and inconsistent considering the low amounts of energy count we're going to have to play here. And to prop that up, you'll see that we are using Twin Energy, which gives us 2 energy straight away within a single attachment, and using Turbo Patch, which means within the same turn, as long as these colourful, wonderful energies are in our discard pile, we have a chance to flip a coin and hit heads and accelerate that energy from the discard pile onto the Kecleon. If we can pull it off in one turn, it means we could be doing 360 damage in a single turn against these huge Pokemon VMAX or Tag Team GXs. As a draw engine, because this deck is a bit tricky to get going, we do play Cinccino and Minccino as well. This is great because when you look at the HP on Kecleon, on Minccino and Cinccino, and all of the Lake Trios, they're all below 90, meaning we can search them out with Level Ball. We're also going to play Quick Ball, which allows us access to a Dedenne for some extra draw support from Pokemon there. We're also going to be playing a single copy of Mewtwo from Unbroken Bonds for its Mind Report ability, which allows us to move a supporter card from our discard pile to the top of our deck. This is great in conjunction with the Cinccino, which, as you know, allows us to discard in order to draw 2 at any point during our turn. So if we combine those, it means we can really maximize the use of what is quite a low supporter count in this deck. As you can see, we're playing like a single boss, single Brock's Grit, only 2 research. So with these low counts, it's important to maximize the usage we're getting out of them. With that in mind, we're also playing a copy of Pal Pad, which allows us to shuffle 2 supporter cards from the discard back into the deck. Also playing Ordinary Rod, which allows us to do the same but with energy and Pokemon. Again, just considering the low counts of each card we have, we really need to maximize the usage we're getting out of them in order for this deck to work. The other supporter to note that we're playing more counts of is Bruno. We're playing 3, and the reason I've chosen Bruno as one of our consistency cards is, again, because we want to be not too wasteful of our resources that we have in our decks. We want to be shuffling in rather than discarding where possible, and Also the fact that we're playing low HP Pokemon, meaning we are more than likely to get knocked out each turn, considering who we're going to be coming up against. And if that is the case, we're allowed to draw 7 cards here with this card rather than 4. So this one works pretty well with this deck, I would say. Any other cards of note in the deck I'd say are Air Balloon, which just allows us to maybe get the Kecleon out the active if it's not ready yet, or just I suppose any of the other cards that we don't want stuck in the active. All in all, as you can see, because it's quite a low count of each energy and a low count of each Pokemon, it can be quite a tricky deck to pull off, but with the right pieces in the right places, we can go for some really big, explosive one-hit knockouts and really take our opponents by surprise with this deck. So let's go and have a look and see if we can have some success with it. Let's see how we do. We win the coin flip, so we're going to go second, please. Thank you very much. Mulligan. It's a shame. It's not a bad hand, aside from the fact we didn't have a basic Pokemon. This is a bad one because we don't have a great means of... First contact might be useful in setting up, so we'll see. Hold the level ball. Use that for the Cinccino. Ah, no. We do not want to play this deck. No thank you. We don't like Horror House and Poltergeist combo, oh, especially with the Shadow Rider. No thanks. We skip, please. We pass. We scoop. We don't play. Quick Ball is interesting. Potentially Viridian for the dark. And I think we do go for doesn't really matter, is it Uxie or Kecleon, or hang on, let's just check the numbers. Mesprit's already out, 222, 3 Kecleon, and more likely to find a Kecleon off the draw. So let's get an Uxie. Then we need an Azelf. We need a means of getting out the active. We need many things basically still. So let's see how we do. We find a twin. A level ball. Okay. So we level ball for the Kecleon. We're going to attach the twin. We're going to hope that we can hit... Do we have the... Yeah, we do have the dark in the discard. Let's see if we hit heads. Better luck next time. We're going to Bruno for 4. See if we can find another... that's a shame. Yikes. What can we sacrifice here? Not a lot. But we don't necessarily want to get caught with trainer cards in our hand. Let's see, how much do they do? 50. They only need to find 2. We scoop this, put it down. We maybe do that, and then pass. Should have put the air balloon on this, potentially. You know? Because if they're only hitting for 50, then it's going to get stuck in the active. So I don't know. I just felt like they were going to somehow knock it out. Maybe they still will with some other means of attack. It's a shame we did not hit. But we've got a research next time, which is pretty cool. It's a shame we might have to discard the Mewtwo. Lots of action going on our opponent's half of the board. Got a Ditto V coming in. They are going to Horror House GX us. They did put the necessary energy to take the knockout, meaning it was actually potentially pretty wise. Should we do a bit of thinning while we can? What are we looking for? What's this week 2? Fighting. Have we got fighting in the discard already? Yes. What's this week 2? Dark, dark, dark. Goose. Let's thin anyway. Potentially, have we got another dark in the? No. Let's grab a fighting. And then we just pass the turn. If they have a gust and knock out the Dedenne, that might not be a smart move for them. But maybe they're tempted. Shall we see? I'd prefer them to knock out the Dedenne actually in some ways, because we can keep the Mesprit. We can use the Level Ball to grab the Azelf. And we can potentially turbo patch the Dark onto our Kecleon. So we feed them the Dedenne. Oh, they're bossing up the Kecleon like mother flippers. That's okay though, we have Kecleon in hand. So, Kecleon does come down. This evolves to Cinccino. We are going to have to research for the twin. Let's see if we can turbo patch. We cannot. Do we want to potentially do Bruno right now instead of research? Maybe, because we just got knocked out, didn't we? Might be worth it. We want to get the Azelf down. Oh no, yeah, it's true. We're going to have to research. It is true. Hoping for the twin. Another opportunity at patch is good. We do get the patch. We're going to put the dark onto the Kecleon. We're going to attach the twin. We're going to retreat. Perhaps make do the grass energy to draw some more. Rod is good. Yeah, but we're just going to do spinning attack. Take a big one-hit KO on this Shadow Rider Calyrex with our Kecleon. How about that? Catch me with my Kecleon, how about that? Okay. Naturally, they have an answer here with Gengar and Mimikyu. Also, basically, have an answer. We're only 90 HP, so this does 30 more for each psychic energy. So, and it needs at least 3. So yeah, we're not doubting that they have the answer. But, you know, they've got the Ditto to transform back into one of these Shadow Rider Calyrexes. Interesting choice. Maybe they just don't have enough of these. They are pretty expensive to come by in the game at the moment. Don't blame them. Ditto V is a good little tech. Marnieing me though. Interesting choice, because they're reducing me to 4 cards. Like, what if I just have 1 trainer in hand and they can't get the knockout, you know? 2 trainers, they're lucky. 2 trainers, but one of them, yeah, they're just gonna max Geist. Okay, well, we still got a chance of hitting, oh, we've only got 1 turbo patch left and a twin, but you know, there is a possibility. Especially when we do that. So we've got to get a Kecleon with the level ball. We attach the twin. We're gonna research, hoping to find the last turbo patch, which we do not. But maybe we can thin a little bit. Oh no, we can. I was going to say we can maybe hold, but they'll probably boss the... we can either be brave and hold, and then just Ordinary Rod and Viridian next time. What do we want? What would be, in theory, what Pokemon would we put back in? We have a wealth of choice there, so we could discard to thin, discard the Uxie, grab a Mesprit. Anything else to do to thin? No, I think we want to hold the rest of them, don't we? If he knocks out the Cinccino. No, we don't want them to knock out the Cinccino, do we? Well, let's see if we do have the... I should have looked, shouldn't I? I suppose I still could look. Do we look? Do we look? Do we look? Make do. A scoop. Nah. So I guess we just hold. We could tempt them with the Dedenne. Does that work? We know they're going to come in for the Kecleon though, because they think that is the danger point, right? See if they take the bait. If we leave that out there and say, here's a tasty 2 prizes, and then they hit into it, we Ordinary Rod the Dark Energy back in. We grab the energy with the Spinner or Viridian, and we take a juicy knockout. So we're trying to bait them with the Dedenne. Let's see if they fall for it. They're doing all they need to do to get a very handsome board state over there. I mean, really, they should know that Kecleon is the one. That's the only danger on my board, isn't it, really? So at this stage, they know that 2 prizes isn't any good to them at the moment, when I could win with my next turn. So yeah. Let's see if they have the boss. Unless did they already play a supporter? We don't know. Tense. Ah, weakness to metal. They've put the metal one up there. Did we prize our metal energy? I'm not sure. So they have had to hit into the Dedenne. Question is, do we have a boss as well? That's interesting. Mewtwo's in the... oh, right, yeah, Mewtwo's in there. There is different things we could do here, because we could Ordinary Rod the Mewtwo back in for the boss, right? That's one thing we could do. Okay, put Cinccino active. Let's look for metal, because if we have metal, we've just won anyway. We do have metal. So we're going to grab the metal energy, drop it onto Kecleon, retreat into Kecleon, and take a big knockout on the Alcremie VMAX for our 3 prize cards. That was a great game. Well played to my opponent, and well played to Kecleon. Is this an Ice Rider Calyrex deck, or just a lovely deck box? We lost the flip. Going second anyway. We ideally don't want Bruno. We would have preferred research or something there. What's their weakness? We do play a metal. We do play a metal energy. Now, do we go for a Minccino first turn, like they've done? Or do we go and try and get the business done? Two and two and two. Let's get an Uxie down. Do we go Minccino? No, I think we go all out. Go one of these. We just go for it. Dedenne change, so we can Viridian Forest this for a metal energy. We will get the Dedenne with the Quick Ball, which also allows us to discard the metal energy. Hopefully we will draw into a Turbo Patch and something that allows us to get the Mesprit. Let's go. No Turbo Patch. That is unfortunate because we do have the Mesprit. Ooh, that is a shame. What do we do here? Again, we're just like one card short. The Turbo Patch short. Suppose we thin the deck with the Energy Spinner. Grab some of each of the energies. That is a shame. Do we feed them the Dedenne? To avoid... No, because it doesn't really matter. It does matter. It doesn't, or it does. I don't know. Just wondering if we need another Kecleon ready to go. Either, no, we can't switch out anyway, we can't hold on to the thing, it's going either way. But maybe we just put another Kecleon out so that we can roll straight into it and not need a switch out. Okay. Unfortunate. It seems that with this deck we're always just maybe one card away from what we need. I think it's because we've got so many pieces. You've got the Minccino, Cinccino, the 3 of the Lake Trio, the Kecleon, the vast array of energy. Oops. Yeah, it's just so many little pieces that it's not consistent. We can't have enough multiples. They're going into Mew. No, they're scooping it up. They were just using it for more draw. They've got the Calyrex Ice Rider out. Have they done their attachment for the turn? I don't think they have. In which case, what are they doing? I guess they're just going to do, yeah, Rider the High King. That works nicely for them, doesn't it? Rider the High King. We can potentially hit what we need off this research next time. Presuming that they're just taking out this Kecleon. We're going to promote our one. Going to thin the deck a little bit with the Viridian. And we're going to hope that the research gives us something tasty. So, yeah, we're going to get Mesprit down. We're going to thin out the deck with Viridian. Let's throw a water in there. See what we hit off this research. Okay. What do we hit? Nothing that we need. Needed a twin. Needed a turbo patch. We're going to have to see if we can absolutely cheese that with the Minccino that we have out. The Cinccino that it becomes. We can thin a bit. Again. So we use the Energy Spinner to thin. Level Ball to thin. Quick Ball to thin. We can potentially, yeah, okay. And then we just arguably Cinccino away. Mewtwo. Ah! We have, I tell you what, let's hold this and do Turbo Patch first. If we Turbo Patch the Metal Energy, we are absolute Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its! Okay, we've got what we need. Metal Energy onto him. Twin Energy. And Spinning Attack. 360 damage straight onto their Calyrex VMAX and taking 3 prizes. That's phenomenal. Alright, let's see how they can reply. Considering they only need to get 2 energy onto this Pokemon, I imagine they can reply instantly. We do have a Kecleon and an Air Balloon and a Bruno. We potentially have the facilities for that big man, because we've only used 1 twin as well. So let's see how we do. Getting another Minccino down. Attaching to the Cinccino isn't great for them. And just doing energy assist, so they're going to attach an energy to whom? Are they going Frostlass or something? I can't remember what that. Ideally, we just take out their draw support here. Is there anything we want to put back into the deck yet? Or are we happy to just keep on rolling? Just keep on rolling. Potentially we just hold what we have, I would say. It could be a good turn to Brox. But maybe not. Maybe we're sitting pretty. Because we've got Kecleon in hand and everything. Let's see what they got. Let's call them out. We're just going to hit you. Take a prize. Another Uxie. So we could potentially be rid of an Uxie and an Azelf and still replace them. Discarding a Calyrex. Are they just going with a Headbutt? Is that it? Is that what you've got? And they're on a 1-card hand. And they scoop. Yeah, they just didn't have it. That knockout on the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX right at the beginning just saw to it that they couldn't recover from it. Fantastic.